They're singing, go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago!
How about them Cubbies? They got the series win again. Welcome back to another episode of Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm David Butler, and we are here to talk more about the past half week or so with the Cubbies. So much has occurred since we last talked. But first, we'll start out with the Tampa Bay's review. The Tampa Bay Rays review. The Cubs, who have been struggling offensively going into this series, for the 26th season, they scored 19 runs in 3 games. That was outstanding. Offense finally got going, and we won 2 out of 3. I don't think that's a coincidence. The pitching in the last 2 games was really good as well. Jameson Taillon struggled in the opener. He wasn't terrible by any means, don't get me wrong. He did give up 2 homers, only 4 runs total, 3 earned. So he minimized it with the home runs. I get that. The other pitching concern for this series was Phil Maton, for sure. If you go look at Phil's last several years, he's had an ERA in the 3s for like 4 or 5 seasons in a row. I think he's going to be fine, but he just looks out of sync, and he doesn't look like he's having fun right now at all. So, they just need to get the guy to relax. I think he's probably pressing, and that's unfortunate because he's really, really good, guys. And I'm frustrated with him. I'm frustrated with it. I understand others being frustrated, but don't give up on this guy. At least not yet. In the series, he pitched 1 2/3 innings, 2 outings, gave up 4 runs, all 4 hits, 1 home run, and 1 walk. Obviously not great. He can only go up. That's just what I'm gonna say. I think he will be okay. I know it's been a rough start, but he's gonna be fine. But how about Javier Assad and Colin Ray? Javier was coming off a rough start in his second start in AAA. So, but he was outstanding in that game, in Game 2, and Colin Ray was really, really great as well. Assad, 5 2/3 shutout baseball. You can't complain about that. And then Ray, 1 run, just awesome, fantastic. I'm not going to talk about Ben Brown because it is what it is. I wish that they would shorten it up a little bit, like give the kid a chance when he does. When he did really well in that 7th inning, and then in the 8th, like he spiked that ball again. It's like his 3rd or 4th wild pitch already. That's not good. But it's incredibly frustrating because you see the tantalizing success that the kid can have. But oh my goodness. I'll shut up about that. Really good series win though. Great offensive output. Very, very good. Matt Shaw hit it well in the series. Nico is out of this world. Listen to this. This is from Carson Wolf at the Wrigley Wire. Again, if you're not following this guy, why the hell aren't you? Nico Warner this season hitting .333, .453 slugging. 453 on base, and a .548 slugging for a 183 WRC plus. That's insane. He has 7 extra base hits, 8 runs, 9 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, an 11.3% K rate, and are you ready for this? A 15.1% walk rate. That's insane. He leads Major League Baseball with a 1.0 WAR through 12 games. That's a 13.5 WAR pace. That's an MVP type pace, guys. No doubt. I know it's 12 games. I get it. Very small sample size, all that. But Nico is awesome. And he's tearing it up right now. Absolutely tearing it up. Sorry about my dog. I had to share that. Thought it was a great stat from Carson. Guess what? Seiya Suzuki is back. He said he's going to be starting on Friday. I'm guessing he'll be starting in right field. Don't know that for sure, but that's my guess. With Seiya back, who should sit against right-handed pitchers? We're facing all right-handed pitchers. We'll get to that here at the end with Pittsburgh. Shaw or Ballesteros? I'm going to guess that Shaw gets one start in this series, but Ballesteros should get two. And if it has to be one or the other, then I think Shaw sits most likely. But that doesn't mean he doesn't come in later in the game. Doesn't mean he doesn't play for Happ one of those games, because we're going to talk about him in a minute as well. Ian Happ has a heel bruise that he's healing from. They said that he could be used as a pinch hitter in last night's game. I'm going to guess that he may get another day of rest in this series, depending on how that heel bruise is doing. So that could be the start that Shaw has, or Ballesteros sits one of those 3 games. I don't know. Or some kind of combination. Who knows? But I'm not saying that Shaw's not going to get any looks or doesn't deserve them, because the dude is hitting the ball well. He hit the ball well. Nico, I know we already touched that. Pete got his first home run. Ballesteros had a really good series. His numbers are still not great. Same with Bregman. He had a good series. Numbers still aren't great, but they're getting better. So, I was listening to a podcast called Locked on Cubs. If you are not listening to this, you should be. If you are, great. Listen to me more too. But, and Eli, listen to both of us. One of the hosts on there, Sam Olber, proposed this lineup versus righties on a regular basis, and I love it. Makes perfect sense to me. Nico, leading off, Michael Busch, Bregman, and Seiya. I liked the way, and what he spelled out for was to having the 3 righties around Busch to protect them wanting to bring in a lefty. If you bring in a lefty, then you're hanging that lefty out to dry against Bregman and Seiya, because they're going to wear him out. And then you got Pete, and then Happ, Kelly and Amaya, and Ballesteros, and then Dansby. And that just, Dansby at 9 brings it back to the top, and then you still got Busch, 1 lefty between 4 total right-handers. Hopefully that will limit some of that lefty matchup, unless it's like 2 outs, because then you can, if the lefty gets Busch out, you can start with a righty again. But I think it does some of that too for Pete in this proposed lineup. Protects him a little bit, because Happ is a switch hitter, so that it just protects him some too, but probably not as much as Seiya. Happ is not typically, or as Busch. Happ is not typically as powerful of a hitter on the right side versus the left side, but he has been this season so far. So, just something I thought was great, a great propose. I proposed this versus lefties. Nico first, Busch second still, Bregman third, Seiya fourth. I can understand if you want to maybe switch Busch and Bregman there, but I like the top 4 still. And then Kelly and Amaya as 5, Happ 6, Dansby 7, Pete 8th, and Matt Shaw 9th. And I put Matt Shaw in there because I think he would he'd be the right fielder, and stay out the DH at that point against lefties. I just think it makes more sense ultimately. If you weren't paying attention in the Tampa Bay series, Matt Shaw looked way more comfortable in right field. He didn't have to deal with all the wind and all that stuff. And I don't know why anybody thinks that, nothing against Seiya. I love Seiya. But I don't know why everybody thinks he's going to handle the wind better than Matt Shaw is. He's probably a little more used to it, but Shaw's going to be the better defender between those two. He's just going to be. We have to learn to be patient sometimes, boys and girls. He's learning a totally new position in Major League Baseball. And he's adjusting. And he looked really good. And he's got way more athleticism. And he's just a better, more competent defender. Period. He switched from second base to third base. Struggled early on last year. If you all don't remember that, go back and look. He struggled some early on in the season. And then he became a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. Zero reason to think he can't do the same thing against right-handers. Or in right field. Man, I'm all over the place. Matthew Boyd injury. I don't think that this was on the table. We learned about it. He's got strained biceps. He's on the 15-day IL. Both Matthew Boyd and Crane Council said they expected to be a minimum IL stint via Sahadav Sharma and The Athletic. We'll see. I understand things can happen. If he comes back, it'll be on the 16th, I think, because it was retroactive to the 1st. So even if it's a little bit over that, like 5 more days, and this allows him to be fully healthy again and just get it going. The dude was on fire the first 2 starts as far as swings and misses. A lot of hard contact in the first game, but not the second. Much, much better. Matthew Boyd, a healthy Matthew Boyd, is essential, especially now that Cade's done for the season. We all know by now, Cade Horton done for the season. That sucks. I can't imagine, or I can't explain how much that sucks. But it is what it is, and we have to move past it.
Go Cubs go!
That's right, Paisley. It is what it is. We got to get through. Matthew Boyd being healthy will make a huge difference to help with that. Justin Steele coming back. But the way Javier Assad and Colin Ray pitched in his last 2 starts, excellent. Are they going to do that the whole season? Probably not. It'd be crazy to think so. What it does is it lowers the ceiling some with the potentially. But I think we got great. Those 2 guys have a high floor too. And if we can hit and score 4 or 5 runs a game, even with those two pitching, they're not going to dominate, strike out a bunch, and just look dominant all the time. But they're going to keep us in games that we can win consistently and help us get to the goal that we want as a team. We still have, if Justice Steele comes back ready to go, he's not going to be right away, guys. But by August, September, if Justice Steele looks like Justice Steele again, and Shota bounces back some, you got Justice Steele, Cabrera, Boyd, Shota. This is nothing to sneeze at, kids. And we haven't even talked about Colin Ray, Javier Assad, or JMO. Like, those 4 could be really good. Do we potentially need to add something later as a deadline? High impact pitching? Possibly. Right now, I think that's more in the bullpen. Bullpen's a little suspect. Hobie Milner, settled down. He's looking really, really good, kids. And he's pitching a lot. But he's been solid. Jacob, all the right-handers outside of Palencia, I don't know, man. Right now, like, whole lot to. I like Harvey. I like the arm. I like Maton and his arm. But they got to settle down. And there's a whole lot of question marks with the right-handed relief pitching outside of Daniel Palencia. And we'll see. There's other guys down in the minors that we think are capable as well. Gavin Hollowell, dude, looked amazing in spring. He should be chomping at the bit to get a chance. And who knows if that'll happen soon? I don't want that to happen. I want all these guys to kind of settle down and get it going. But there's other people who can do it. So just remember that, okay? Pirates preview. Probable starters tomorrow on Friday. All 220 games. Fantastic. Back in Chicago. I'll be wearing my 220 or 120 shirt on Sunday when we do the podcast. The starters, Carmen Mozinski for the Pirates versus Shota Imanaga. Saturday will be Braxton Ashcraft versus Edward Cabrera. Sunday, Bubba Chandler, that boy can throw, versus Jamison Tynan. That's probably the worst one on paper against us. But I'm going to tell you what, Carmen Mozinski had our number twice last year that I remember. So don't overlook these guys. The Pirates, don't overlook them. And entering Friday, the Pirates are averaging 4.5 runs per game, which is ranked 13th in the majors. The team ERA is 3.33, which is good for 8th in the majors. We knew that they had a good offense or a good pitching staff, especially their starters, they'll keep them in the game, and that offense has improved. This is not a gimme series, not by any means. They are a good team, and the Cubs need to earn their wins. The Cubs will counter that with an ERA of 3.43, ranked 10th, and are averaging 4.67 runs per game, good for 10th as well. Like I said, on paper, the Cubs initially look like they should be the favorites here. But I don't think that's definite. They need to win. They need to play the way they just played in Tampa, and they'll be fine. But they got to have some urgency with the bats, and they got to score some runs because this pitching staff is no joke, and it's going to be difficult at times. On Saturday, I think this is our biggest favorite for pitching. The matchups is on Saturday with Edward Cabrera. Again, via Carson Wolf via the Wrigley Wire. Cabrera's changeup ranks 11th in Major League Baseball in run value this season. Opponents have not got a hit against it, and it's generated a 35.1% whiff rate. The command of it has been outstanding. That's pretty awesome. Maybe he should throw it a little more because the command got a little wild in the last start, but he still pitched well overall, and he kept the team going. Great game. Just minimize the walks, hopefully. It's gonna pop up. It's something that he has dealt with his entire career. It's gotten better, but it's still something that will pop up. It's just, most of the time when a guy throws hard, those things happen. You know what I mean? It is what it is with it, and it's a common thing. So let's go Cubs. We'll talk again Sunday with a series win, hopefully. Go Cubs, boys and girls. Thank you.
Go Cubs, go!